The city had always been a place where dreams were built. But one real estate developer, Richard Calloway, had turned that dream into a nightmare. He was known for buying up entire blocks, evicting longtime residents, and replacing their homes with expensive condos that no one from the neighborhood could afford. Calloway had been using his wealth and influence to force people out of their homes, offering them pennies on the dollar for properties they had worked their whole lives to build. Clint Eastwood had heard the cries of those who had been displaced, and he couldn't sit back and watch this happen. Today, Clint was going to make sure Calloway faced the consequences for his ruthless exploitation of the community. Clint arrived at one of Calloway's latest projects, a towering luxury complex that loomed over the small neighborhood that had once thrived with life. The houses that once stood in this area were now reduced to rubble, and families who had lived there for generations were nowhere to be found. Clint walked through the ruins, his boots crunching on the broken pavement as he approached the construction site. There, overseeing the project with a smug expression, stood Richard Calloway, his suit perfectly pressed, as if he had no care in the world. Clint approached him, his presence unmistakable. "Calloway," Clint said, his voice strong and direct. Calloway turned, recognizing Clint immediately, but his cocky smile didn't fade. "What can I do for you?" he asked, feigning politeness. "I'm here to make sure you pay for what you've done to this neighborhood," Clint replied. Calloway raised an eyebrow, clearly unbothered. "What are you talking about?" he scoffed, waving his hand dismissively. "This city is evolving. The people here didn't want to move forward, and now they're just getting what they deserve." Clint's expression darkened. "You've been buying up these homes, pushing people out, and selling them for a quick profit," Clint said, his voice cold. "You've destroyed families' lives for your own gain. You don't get to hide behind your wealth and your nice suits." Calloway's smugness was replaced by a flicker of irritation. "You don't understand. These people are nothing. They were never going to be able to keep up with the times." Clint took a step closer, his voice unwavering. "You don't get to decide who belongs here," Clint said. "You've taken what didn't belong to you, and now you're going to face the consequences." Clint pulled out a stack of documents, *** court papers, property deeds, and evidence showing how Calloway had been using underhanded tactics to force people off their land, paying them far less than their properties were worth. ***, you've been bullying these people into selling, lying to them about what they would get in return. Calloway's face turned red with anger. "You don't know anything about business," he snapped, trying to regain control of the conversation. "I've built an empire. You can't stop me." Clint's gaze didn't waver. "Your empire is built on lies, and it's coming down." He turned to the authorities, who had been quietly watching from a distance. With Clint's testimony and the overwhelming evidence, Calloway's illegal practices were exposed. He was arrested on charges of fraud, coercion, and displacement. The residents who had been forced out of their homes now had a chance to reclaim what was rightfully theirs. Clint didn't need to stay around for the victory. He had done what he came to do. The neighborhood would begin to rebuild, and for the first time in years, the community had hope again. Clint Eastwood had once again made sure that the guilty paid for their actions. And if you want to see more of Clint Eastwood's relentless fight for justice, where no one gets away with exploiting the innocent, subscribe to this channel and hit the bell icon, because Clint always makes sure justice prevails.